Welcome to Up to the Minute. It is Wednesday, October the 7th. Glad to have you with us this Wednesday. We've got a great show for the next half hour or so. Your HCC news and information coming up. Two special guests. Before we get to them, Brittany Pacheco joining us from her home studio. Another great morning, Brittany, but I got to admit, you say Monday's Monday. Yesterday was Tuesday, is Monday Junior. Today is got to be Monday the 3rd. Because right before we were going on the air, when I'm signing in, my computer reboots, everything reboots, and then I have to enter passwords to connect to my Wi-Fi. All of this and more.
Yeah, no, the other day, my part of my house lost power. Not everything, but it was really weird. Yeah, so, it's just what happens. Yeah. It is what it is.
Monday the 3rd, but it is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday. I've got a title about Thursday. So y'all just have to tune into that for tomorrow to hear what I have to say about Thursday. But in the meantime, I do want to take the opportunity to welcome everyone as well for our edition of Up to the Minute. I'm very excited for you all to be here. Take the opportunity to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and also YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And last but not least, we'd really appreciate it if you share this podcast, this Up to the Minute podcast, to your personal Facebook page. So you can do that by clicking the share button at the bottom. We want to grow our audience, and we need your help to make that happen.
That's right, Brittany. Okay, we're going to guide through this next half hour. We've got some special guests today. Of course, it's Wednesday, which means it's always a visit. It's always great to have a visit by HCC Police Chief Greg Cunningham. Good morning, Chief.
How are you doing today? It's a beautiful Wednesday. Boy, I wish I was outside playing.
I know. I was outside a little bit earlier. I went outside early this morning and yesterday morning, and it was just gorgeous. The weather is not too warm, not too cold, just right. Humidity was perfect at the time.
Absolutely. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about today, I think.
Yeah, we've got students going back to campuses, a lot of things going on. We'll meet with you in just a little while, Chief. Stand by if you would, please. And right now we're going to talk with Dr. Muddassir Siddiqi. Dr. Siddiqi is the president of the Central College. Welcome to the show, Dr. Siddiqi. We're going to try to unmute your microphone. If you can unmute your microphone, I think we're not hearing you, Dr. Siddiqi.
Sorry.
There we go.
So good morning, Todd and your team. Thank you for taking me on this show. And I share the sentiments of Chief. You know, the weather is wonderful. I had a chance to go out this morning and I walked. And I also share your concern about broadband or freezing your computer. Yeah. I had a similar experience. So
yeah,
there's a lot of similarity these days.
Yeah, I know. We're all online. We all depend on the internet. It seems like more than ever for these virtual meetings and especially for our broadcasts. And that's just the way it happens. Dr. Siddiqi, I know we talked about it being a beautiful day outside. It's a great day to get to the Central College, especially if you're taking lab-based courses because your students have returned this week.
You know, it has been an exciting and delightful experience to see students back to campus. They returned this Monday, October 5, for their lab-based classes. As you know that we, in the fall semester, due to COVID, and keep health and safety as paramount principle at Houston Community College, we opted for 4 different modes of instruction. And the last one was the lab-based classes. And because we have courses for which students need to be present in the lab to gain technical skills, scientific skills, learning by doing. So, and I'm very pleased to share with you on Monday, I saw lines of students for screening. And it's such a delightful experience for me. I was on campus, greeted students, welcomed them, and they are very happy returning back to campus. So wonderful experience on Monday.
It is, and especially for these students, because completing those labs helps them complete the semester. And I know we want to keep them on track with their overall educational needs and their goals, because a lot of them want to graduate on time and move on to either the job market or maybe another college or university as well.
And that's very true, because completion, which is also part of student success, is very important for students and for us as an institution. So we have put together all our efforts to make sure we provide lab-based classes with all the safety regulations, state, local, federal government guidelines. And I can tell you, we have been very successful in resuming our lab-based classes and instruction on Monday.
I know a lot of planning. Yeah, I know a lot of planning is going on in the background. And when you bring all those students back on campuses, even in a limited fashion like right now, you still have to have student support services. And I know you have a plan for sustaining student support services during this fall. Tell us a bit about that.
So we have a virtual lobby, and a student can log in and they can approach a person they need to talk to, like advisor and admission person and financial aid. So we establish a pretty robust structure for student support services, because we realize our students need help, especially in the face of a crisis like COVID-19, and they have questions to ask. So what we did, we pooled our resources from, as a one college, from all colleges. So a student can dial in, and the first available person will pick the call and or receive the email and respond. So this we have been doing entire fall semester, also in the summer semester, right? Now, at this time, we realize we need some in-person support services. So we are offering some limited student services, mostly by appointment. And again, this is because of safety and health guidelines we are following. So we have financial aid people on campus. We have admission registration people on campus. So if students have any question which they feel cannot be resolved through virtual lobby, or not finding information through the website of HCC, please come to our campus. We are here to serve you.
And that's a good point. The campuses are open for that need, but make sure when you do arrive on campus, there are some guidelines and rules that people are going to need to follow. So I imagine on your campuses, especially at Central College, the main one that everybody knows, there is one way in as far as going to the campus. Is that correct?
That's true. You know, we have a controlled entry and exit point, because we don't want to have a gathering or, like interaction between people, in addition to 6 feet guideline, just social distancing. We are also creating a flow through our building configuration and establishing our screening station, so we can avoid gatherings and also ensure social distancing. So as you mentioned, Todd, it's an outcome of tremendous amount of work by a very dedicated team at Houston Community College.
It sure is. Now, I've been asking everyone who appears on the show, especially administration like yourself, we're in this virtual learning thing. We've got 4 modalities, and we're looking at the spring semester, which isn't that far away from now. How do you see things going from your own personal perspective going into the future in the next couple of years? Do you think the social distancing is here to stay for a while, number one? And number two, the virtual learning, do you think that's going to continue playing a big role in what we do at Houston Community College?
So I would say virtual learning will stay here, and you will see more and more instruction through online or web-based or web-supported instruction. And I believe this is the trend across the board. It is not limited to Houston Community College. This is across the board. I would say across the globe right now. Even some engineering schools in Texas and beyond Texas, outside Texas, they are offering their engineering courses online. So I think it's gonna be there in the future. And for a spring semester, we are planning to have 4 modalities again as fall semester. And because of the uncertainty in terms of number of infection and the arrival of vaccination, we cannot be 100% certain, about these modalities, but we need to plan for the future. So the plan for the future is 4 modalities, and we tested these modalities. We have been very successful, and we want to replicate our experience in the spring semester.
Well, we wish for the best for the spring semester. I know it's good to be moving through the fall. And, I don't know about you, Dr. Siddiqi, but 2020 can't be gone soon enough.
Yeah, time is flying, and our focus is, as we put a lot of efforts for the fall semester, we are working for a spring semester now. We are planning for a spring. We are pretty ahead in this game. And we're working on schedule. We approaching faculty members, asking what technology needs they see for their classes in the spring semester. And we are adding more and more and better services to our students for the spring semester. So I'm very optimistic about a successful spring 2021 semester.
Dr. Siddiqi, we appreciate you joining us and bringing us up to date with the going-ons at the Central College. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you very much, Todd. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You too. We're going to move on to HCC Police Chief, Doctor. I'm going to make you a doctor now, Chief. If that's okay with you, but Chief Greg Cunningham is joining us right now. Chief, good morning again.
Hey, good morning, guys. I got a long way to go to be a doctor, but I appreciate the attempted promotion here.
We were talking with Dr. Siddiqi about some changes that students will see, some protocols when they're entering and exiting the campuses. And it's not just at the Central College, it's across the district.
Yeah, it really is. And just to kind of carry on with what Dr. Siddiqi started, everybody likes to feel very comfortable about, what's my experience going to be like? I want to know what it's going to be. So let me talk through it just a little bit, right? So if you're going in there, again, like Dr. Siddiqi said, they'd really like folks to have an appointment before they go. And generally speaking, what's going to happen is you're going to get an email, and that'll either be on your HCC email or on your personal email. And it's a screening piece of software. And you just click on a button, it asks you some questions. Do this for me, guys. Everybody is really, really trying to be very, very honest about answering those questions. But what I want to do is I'll put a little context on it, right? We're in the heat of allergy season, right? It says, do you have a runny nose? Well, yes, I do, but I have a runny nose because I have hay fever, right? Yeah. So when you answer the questions, please try to put a little context on your answers, right? Is it normal for you? Is this something that happens to me this time of year, every year, as opposed to it being unexplained, which means it might be a COVID problem, right? Because our mission here is to get everybody screened the best we can and get them into the buildings and on campus as best they can. So you answer the questions, you get a little QR code, right, or one of those little square barcodes, and you go to campus with that on your phone or on your little tablet or whatever. They scan that, they take your temperature, boom, and you get an armband and you're in for the day. You're good to go. A little bit of logistics, because obviously we don't have those checkpoints at every single building everywhere. So show up a couple of minutes early the first time, so that you learn where that checkpoint is, right? Because once you know where it is, I mean, we don't move it around every day, right? It's about you knowing what's going on and being able to get there. So once you kind of know where it is, then you can just kind of knock it out like you would any other trip to school.
So, Chief, I know you're working on something new at Coleman. Maybe you can tell us some of the things that's happening behind the scenes at Coleman as well.
Well, so one of the things that I was really excited to hear about the other day is because we've been successful the last few days and things are moving forward well, they're talking now about opening up the dental clinic down at Coleman. And for those of you that may not be aware, we've talked a lot about nurses and those folks having these labs or clinicals that they need to get done. Well, their dental facility down there, they actually do, for dental hygienists, they actually do teeth cleaning, and they do it for patients. And in fact, if you're a person who needs to have your teeth cleaned, I would reach out to that program, because they're providing that service to either students, faculty, staff, or members of the public that may need to do it. Bear in mind, there's limited numbers because we don't have a million students, although we'd like them, right? But you make an appointment, you come in, and they'll do teeth cleaning and those kind of things for you. And we'll be booting that up here. I think they were saying they were going to try to start that up next week.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really exciting stuff, and it's good to not only have the students back, but now we're starting to be able to provide some services for our communities as well. It's awesome.
You know, while we always bring this up every week, and we should probably bring it up again about the parking passes, faculty and staff, some of them are returning back to campuses, and they really need to make sure they're up to date with their parking pass as well. It doesn't take a lot of time to do so.
Well, yeah, and let me tell you, there's a couple of really good reasons for it, okay? Number one is that, our campuses have been empty now for about 6 months, right? The only folks that were in there were really essential staff. And with faculty and now some students coming back, it really becomes a safety factor, right? As my people patrol through the parking lots and they look and they say, oh, there's 10 cars there and they're all hanging a HCC parking pass, we know, hey, there's 10 people in a building, be they students or be they faculty or staff that are in there working that day. So now it really becomes a flag for my people that this isn't somebody random in the neighborhood just parking. These are my people, right? I have folks in this building that I need to worry about, and I need to make sure that they're safe, and it really helps us do our job better. So go to www.hccs.edu/parking. And there's a big button on there that says that you want a permit or you want to manage a ticket that you've already had. Please go in there, answer the questions. It'll allow you to print your parking permit, whether you're a faculty member, whether you're a staff member, or you're a student. And we'd really love for all of you guys to get that.
Right. So I am just for our audience there, I'm showing the website address right here. And
Awesome.
What the chief was talking about, obtain a permit or pay appeal HCC parking citation. But it's got the rules and regulations. It's real easy. And once again, the website, chief, is hccs.edu/parking. Very easy to get to, and it only takes a few minutes. Chief, I would imagine right now it's hard to believe. Try to fathom this, because I'm still trying to wrap my arms around this, that we have another active hurricane, a massive one in the Gulf of Mexico, and even though it's on track to Texas, it's going to be turning right, and they're the forecast is saying it's going to go into Louisiana again. But once again, even though we're in October, the cold fronts are here, we still have a hurricane season out there.
Yeah, we really do. And it's really funny over the last it's not funny, but over the last several years, it's almost been December 1st before hurricane season really goes away for us.
Yeah.
So this is really just a good opportunity. I know we've had a lot of scares this summer, and we have been very, very lucky. But let's take a look at your supplies again. Let's make sure you gas up your cars. You've got your cell phone chargers and that kind of stuff in the event that something happens. It doesn't look like it's going to come into Texas, but it's still good to be prepared. It's going to be a Friday, Saturday event. Just kind of being ready for it to be really, really helpful. The other side of it is there are some organizations, churches, and those kind of things that are pulling together supplies in order to ship them over to Louisiana. Yeah. If you recall, every one of these storms that's missed us has clobbered Louisiana, right? Yeah. Those poor folks over there are in some serious need. So if you have a little bit of free time this weekend, or you want to do something that's a social contribution, I'd take a look for some of those organizations and try to get that done.
It's also a good time to remind people, Chief, that should any major event happen, make sure that we have at HCC your most current up-to-date cell phone listed in your as your main primary phone, so that we can text you with updates, you can get emails, and if there are any emergency situations, we have a right way to do that. And Chief, I know we also direct them to our webpage if there's a problem with a storm, with the weather, or other emergency they need to know about.
Todd, thank you so much for saying that. You know, I beat that drum pretty often, and sometimes I just don't realize it's a good time to do it again. If you've gotten a new cell phone or you've changed your number, and I know that a lot of our students do that pretty frequently, please get into the system and get that updated for us. You know, when you're on campus, if there are emerging emergencies, for example, a fire or any kind of a catastrophe that you need to know about right now, that text messaging system to your cell phone is the way that we communicate that with you. And again, we back it up with the website and banners, but the reality is a lot of us will go several hours over the course of the day and not look at that website. So the ability to get those text messages is huge. You can change your number in that system as many times as you need to, right? I mean, if you're a person that gets a new phone frequently, that's not a problem. Just please make sure you keep that current, because that's the way we can get to you when we need to.
Absolutely. Chief Greg Cunningham, we appreciate you joining us on the show every Wednesday and keeping us up to date. It's a beautiful day out there. I'm sure you'll get out for a little while sometime today, Chief.
Yes, sir. I'm going as fast as we're done here.
All right. Chief, we appreciate you joining us. We'll see you again next week.
Take care. Thanks, Todd.
Thank you. And we are going to move on to Brittany, talking about our HCC news and events. And Brittany, of course, we are in the midst of Hispanic Heritage Month, and it's very exciting because I believe tomorrow, an event that you're excited about.
Definitely. Yes. It's an event that we've talked a little bit about before, Todd. I've expressed how much I love the movie Coco. It's about family, tradition, and history, and it's just a wonderful movie. And if you haven't had the opportunity to see Coco, now is your chance, because thanks to our Student Life office, they are hosting a drive-in for the movie Coco at the East Side campus in their parking lot. Now, this is free to everyone, not just our HCC family. If you are interested in participating in this event, it's happening tomorrow, Thursday evening at about 7 p.m. So be sure you arrive early. Be sure to register early. There's a link here in this post that you can go ahead and register ahead of time. Also, if you have questions, you can email the Student Life office at hcc.studentlife@hccs.edu.
You know, Brittany, I want to move on to a couple of very serious subjects, but nonetheless very important subjects. One of them, mental health. During this pandemic, a lot of people may be suffering from depression or may have bipolar issues. Well, HCC Northwest Counseling Services, the office is offering a virtual presentation on depression and bipolar disorder. If you know someone who has this, if you're suffering from either of these disorders yourself, or just want to learn more about that so you can recognize these signs, you can join them 2 p.m. Wednesday, October the 15th. So that is a week from today. It's free. It's open to the public. We encourage you to join them and invite others as well. You can check out our post for the link in the show, the social media post for the show. We'll have a link for the event itself. And another one, Brittany, that we need to bring to the light as well is suicide prevention training. That is happening, and that's coming up in October as well.
I do, but just slight correction on the mental health awareness discussion, Todd. That's actually next Wednesday, October 14th. So I know in the script 14th. It's a mistype, but it is the 14th, everyone. So be sure to mark your calendars for 2 p.m. Wednesday, October 14th for the mental health awareness discussion. That's also in partnership with Remind, which is a support group to help with mental health awareness. But moving on, yes, to suicide prevention training. This is a very heavy topic, of course, and I know a family member and some friends who unfortunately have made this decision to take their lives. And so this training is to recognize what suicide is and to prevent it. So the HCC Counseling Office is providing virtual QPR, which stands for Question, Persuade, and Refer, with a mission. And the mission is to reduce suicidal behavior and save lives by providing innovative, practical, and proven suicide prevention training. Now, this is something I think that would benefit everyone to recognize the signs and be there for someone who may be going through a tough time. Now, this is a very limited space for these trainings. There's multiple trainings here through the month of October, many for students and one for faculty and staff. RSVP is required, so be sure to email Ramon Alvarez at ramon.alvarez@hccs.edu.
Continuing education classes, they are going on. HCC School of Continuing Education is classes that start weekly and monthly, from accounting to welding. Check out their schedules. You can find all the classes you need at hccs.edu/CE. And as we've been hearing throughout this show, Brittany, that some student services are available on campuses by appointments.
That's correct. So one of those departments is our financial aid department. They are going to start welcoming back students to campus through their office by accepting in-person appointments only. No walk-ins whatsoever. Let me just put that out there. No walk-ins will be allowed. You do need to go ahead and register for an appointment with financial aid. You can learn more on how to book an appointment online at the link we will post here in the social media post. And I know there's a graphic here that has that URL as well.
Students, if you've got questions, maybe you want to learn more about your textbooks, tutoring, much more, we've got a one-stop shop available for you. Right now, you can go to the website, hccs.edu, online-toolkit, and download, or rather view, a toolkit with all the resources you need. It's available right now. It's on our website. It's free for our students, and you can visit it as many times as you like. And as we mentioned during the show, Brittany, when you do return to campuses, I know a lot of you have already been there, so you've probably seen the pre-screening that's happening, but those are happening across the district.
They are. So if you're coming to an HCC location this week, you're required to complete a daily screening, which starts by completing an HCC COVID pre-screening via a link you should have received via your email. Now, if you don't see it in your inbox, be sure to check other folders through your email if it's cluttered, junk. I know with Outlook app that we use, we have a focused inbox and there's an other inbox. So be sure you're checking all areas for that link because it is unique to you specifically. So once again, you have to complete the screening every time before you visit an HCC location. As soon as you open the button, I would recommend that you bookmark it. That way you can just go to your browser on your device and just go ahead and complete the survey ahead of time. So once again, be sure to check all areas in your inbox, save that unique URL to your device, and just complete it ahead of time.
Brittany, real quickly, I want to jump down to the bottom of our list of events and talk about some things that students need to know. The virtual lobby, you heard about it earlier. It's available now at hccs.edu/virtual lobby. They've got extended hours. Have a little patience. You can leave your question. They'll get back to you by a phone call, an email, or a Zoom meeting. So you have three choices there, but they will get back to you. Another thing that's important are virtual open houses, Brittany, and they're happening as well.
They are happening through the month of October, covering HCC admissions application, how to enroll, financial aid, new student orientation, and much more. To register for this virtual open house session, go to hccs.edu/informationsessions. And we're also having some transfer fairs.
Yeah, the transfer fairs are underway. A number of colleges are participating in these. We used to have them in person. We may have them again in person someday, but not this semester. But we want you to continue learning more about these colleges and universities who are our partners. You can go to hccs.edu/transferfair to learn all about those, when they're happening, when the university you're interested in is presenting. You get to ask them questions. Yeah, it's all there. But you'll learn all about that by going to that website. That wraps up the show for today. Tomorrow, we've got Dana Sturdivant. She's the program director of Community Learning, the group bringing us those great gardening workshops. Tune in for that. And it's Thursday's Virtual Family Fun Thursday, Brittany.
Yes, so we'll have a local artist who also co-founded Manteca HTX, a national directory of Latinx artists, joining us to commemorate Hispanic Heritage Month. It's going to be a great episode. Once again, everyone, I do want to remind you to follow us on social media. Don't forget about our YouTube channel. Share this podcast so we can grow our audience, and join us tomorrow morning on Facebook Live at 10 a.m. for Up to the Minute.
We'll see you then. Have a great day.